News. A very special pup is making a lot of people smile.
Dude, the therapy dog, pays a visit to patients at Methodist Hospital every week. And as 6 News' Aaron Hartley shows us, he shares a special bond with those fighting cancer.
Dude isn't your average canine.
You are so sweet. Oh, hi, thank you.
He's a therapy dog and brings a smile to almost anyone he meets. Dude and owner.
Almost anyone. Now she said.
So sweet. Oh, hi, thank you.
He's a therapy dog and brings a smile to almost anyone he meets.
In other words, there are some people who ignore it, who don't want any part in this nasty, filthy, weird behavior. I want to hear about those people. I don't want to hear about nutters. Do a story on the people who don't want to touch this thing, who don't want nothing, who don't even want to be in the same room as these filthy, disgusting, nasty, unsanitary, these people wearing masks. Do you know how foul it is in a company where masks are mandatory to have somebody in there with no mask going around licking people in the face? You wouldn't accept that from a human being. I don't accept it from a dog. It's nasty. You all would call it nasty if it were a person doing it. So it's irrefutable that this is nasty. There ain't nothing cute about this disgusting behavior. And there's nothing cute about these dogs. They don't look cute. That's just not a word that describes them. Their faces melting, their ears melt. Literally, nobody's ears just sag downward like this. They look dumb, brainless, always licking. I don't want to look at anybody who has their tongue constantly outside of their mouth. No, thank you. Especially if that person is licking their nostrils. That's disgusting. Dogs are disgusting. Their behavior is disgusting. It's time that we paid attention to it. Rather than trying to ignore it and dress it up. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. They look at something that's totally disgusting and say, hey, how cute. Yeah, you can trick a lot of people with that. Then it licks her in the face, licks this guy in the face. This is nasty.
He's a therapy dog. And
thank you. I'm gonna have to do a video on dog kisses, or what they call kisses. It's so stupid. And it's time to shame these people who refer to a dog licking them as a kiss. There's nothing about it that's even remotely like a kiss. What are you talking? It's not a dog's way of kissing. A lot of dog nutters, they believe that. 100%. They're programmed, brainwashed. They fully believe that that's a dog's way of kissing, the equivalent of a kiss. No, it's not. And even if you thought that it was the dog's way of kissing you, it's still unacceptable. Again, You wouldn't accept people just licking you in the face, in the mouth, across your nose. Don't try to dress this disgusting lifestyle up as something cute and adorable.
Dude isn't your average canine.
You are so sweet. Oh, hi, thank you.
He's a therapy dog and brings a smile to almost any.
Look at what it.
Hi, thank you.
He's a therapy dog and brings a average canine.
This rubbing on this disgusting feeling mutant. Their skin even. Everything about dogs is disgusting. It's time to stop ignoring it.
So sweet. Oh, hi, thank you.
He's a therapy dog and brings a smile to almost anyone he meets. Dude and owner Linda.
I'm starting to think some of these cackling dog nutters, some of them are just brainwashed. They don't truly believe that this is funny, cute, adorable. They're just so brain zapped that they just, go through life being dishonest, disingenuous, and fake. And hey, that's me giving you the benefit of the doubt. I don't believe that you could truly be this dumb, naive, and disconnected from reality. That's actually a compliment. Saying you nutters are just severely
Almost anyone
brainwashed.
he meets.
Nothing funny about a nasty tongue being swiped across your goofy mask. What you got the mask on for? Swipe saliva on your mask? That is disgusting.
And owner Linda have been coming to Methodist Hospital since 2017.
In a
meeting
hospital,
with
you
cancer-
nasty. You know how many foreign germs, virus, bacteria, parasites, dogs introduced to humans, you nasty nutters? People, it's just time to do away with this disgusting lifestyle. It's subhuman. We got to call these people out for it.
patients once a week. As you can see, he's a popular pup.
And a filthy doctor. You stupid, ignorant fool. A doctor of all people. There is no way I would tolerate that in no hospital. Who in their right mind brings dogs in the hospital? Are you out of your mind? People should be outraged when they see a dog inside of a home. When I was a child, that is how it was. Any one of the kids bring a dog inside the home, they would be in all kinds of trouble. That was grounds for getting a spanking. You would get punished. Why? Because dogs don't belong inside of homes. But see, these people, regardless of their education, they're still locked into being disgusting. They just cannot ditch their disgusting lifestyle. And they're so arrogant that now they're trying to force it onto everyone.
Even among hospital staff. But he hasn't always been a healthy.
Man, do you know I would be walking around with a list of all the zoonotic diseases, parasites, germs, bacteria that gets passed to people every year in the United States in the millions? I would stand right there in front of that camera and name all of them. this, that, millions every year. These people are nasty. That's obviously what it takes. They're not bright enough to do the research themselves, even though these are doctors and nurses. You would expect them to know this stuff. Now, even let's say that they do know it. Why don't you act on it? By not allowing dogs in the hospital. You're nasty.
The dog.
He started out having mega
Nasty.
esophagus.
I'm supposed to look at this nasty looking mutant as cute? What is wrong with you? Is there something wrong with you Dog Nutter's eyes? Do you not see that carcass scavenger, that unsightly, vile, disgusting? It looks disease ridden, parasite ridden, and it is. Is something wrong with your eyes? There ain't nothing cute or adorable about this thing. And the fact that these are the only things that attack babies and kids, you better get that thing out my face. See, this sick behavior of ignoring the fact that these things are killers is appalling. Not only are they killers, again, they're the only creatures that launch deadly attacks on children and infants, toddlers. Out of respect for all the victims, these things should be not be allowed in the hospitals, into anywhere. They should be rejected by all people, period. Just out of respect of the countless lives where they wasn't even allowed to live their life. Because one of you big dumb nutters wanted to bring dogs around kids and babies. We're just supposed to ignore that, huh? And just say, oh, look at the cute kid. Out of my face. Brainless, brain dead nutters, man. Hey, this is what it takes for people to evolve. It takes some groups of people calling out the filth. This is nothing but filth.
They call it Mega E. Where they
This disgusting looking paw. Y'all always going and on about their paws. Their paws look disgusting. That looks hideous. It looks like some type of demonic dungeon creature mutant. Am I supposed to believe that? And they're putting the camera right on the dog's paw. Am I supposed to believe that this is somehow cute and adorable looking? This looks nasty. What's wrong with you nutters?
regurgitate their food. And then soon after that, he quit eating, and he lost 10 pounds in 15 days and was finally diagnosed with Addison's disease. At the same time, he was diagnosed
That is so nasty. Walking through a hospital with a dog. I cannot believe that this is a thing now. That these people have brought their weird, filthy, degenerate, subhuman lifestyle in the hospitals. The Black Death all over again. In the era of pandemics, crazy viruses, they're bringing dogs around more than ever. And it's pretty crazy, man.
hypothyroid.
And the past few months, dude can relate to what these patients are going through.
We noticed this growth in his mouth, and it turned out to be oral cancer. It grew from the size of
So this mutt got all kinds of cancers and diseases and deformities. Ugh. What is she rubbing its backside?
It turned out to be oral cancer. It grew from the size of like a kidney bean to about the size of a mini pepper.
These people trying to project these things as therapeutic. Oh, rub on it. There's been some studies to say it helps to relax you and ease anxiety. No, thank you, Nutter. I'm not going to allow you to be my brain. I despise people who don't think for themselves. I'm sorry. It is despicable for you to waste your whole brain not holding anything up to scrutiny. That's what this dog culture is all about. It's an example of people who don't hold anything up to scrutiny. They just have a herd mentality. No, thank you. The Crusaders, we're alphas. We're leaders. And you nutters got a problem. You got a whole bunch of problems.
For in about 6 weeks. And it grew so rapidly, people thought, oh, it's just a cyst. Well, then when we had it removed, they sent it in.
Nobody care about your mutt cysts and cancers. Get out of here. Nasty thing. Get out the hospital. How about that?
I'm gonna cry. Just doing nothing.
Sitting up in a hospital, somebody bring a dog in there. They don't go around asking people who is allergic. Let me go to this other story here. And I want to give a shout out to this man who rejected. Where is that story at? Is it here? Right here. Therapy dog visits present myriad of concerns, school superintendent says. More than 1,200 parents signed a petition to bring this mutt into an elementary school. 1,200 nutters. How about you create a petition for people who are against it? They don't even create a voice for anti-dog people. Where's that petition? These people function as if everybody is required to be a nutter. No, we're going to bring them in to the school no matter what anybody thinks about it. That should be against the law. Some people are allergic. Some people have phobias. Get out of here, man. You sick. There ain't no excuse to be this sick and inconsiderate. Gross. But anyways, this was Bensalem Township, Pennsylvania. The superintendent responded to the petition to bring this mutt into the elementary school. Okay? Samuel Lee, superintendent of the school district, said that trained therapy dogs and their handlers have often come to schools for short visits. But those visits are very different from the scenario that the petition presents. Okay, so the superintendent is against this petition. More than 1,200 parents signed it for this mutt to come back. Now, the superintendent said that the petition requests having this mutt in the school for an entire day rather than a short, brief period. Not only that, the petition wants the dog to be there without a handler. They want this mutt to be able to just roam through the school, an elementary school, with no handler. Just to treat it like, oh, that's everybody's dog. These nasty nutters trying to bring their filthy lifestyle into schools and force all of the students to function like a nutter. This can only happen if people who don't like dogs are silent. Enough of that, man. They're out of line, forcing these things on the people. To even entertain that idea, you're not even going to have a handler? Just bring a mutt into an elementary school and set it free? I told y'all, you give them an inch, they'll try to take a mile. I told you, they're like children. They're mentally like children. This is the thought process of a flipping child. So the superintendent said the petition requests that this mutt just roams around the school, and he's not with that. He said that situation presents a myriad of concerns, including allergies of some Duh. No disrespect to this superintendent, all respect to him, but I'm saying this is common sense. All of the adults should have known better. But of course, you got a bunch of nutters who signed the petition because they're a nutter. They don't think about people who are allergic. Look what he also pointed out. Possible aggression by the dog. Yeah. Big dummy. You see how chaotic these nutters want an elementary school to be? How you gonna not have a handler? What if it starts to attack somebody? Do you know how stupid all you adults gonna look? Standing around screaming, unable to stop the attack. Wow, it should have never gotten this far. Yeah, possible. And he said animal aggression. People, this is a pandemic. Using the word animal rather than dog, pet rather, that's a pandemic all to itself. He also mentioned sanitation or adverse physical or emotional reaction by students or adults, people with cynophobia. Could you imagine somebody with cynophobia and asthma and allergies to dander? That would put this school at a lawsuit. And if there is a dog inside of anywhere, you should try your best to squeeze a lawsuit out of it. However you can. That is what will make these people straighten up. When somebody comes in and they have allergies, they have an asthma attack, their sinuses are inflamed, etc. This is so sick. So shout out to this superintendent for having basic consideration. It's nothing extravagant or unusual. This is the basics. He said the safety and well-being of our students and staff remains top priority. Good for him. Good for him. He has a Twitter account. And I thanked him and shared the article. I'm pretty sure he can piece it together. He can figure out why I said thank you. But this is terrible. Shout out to everybody who's able to join me for this brief random nuttery video. So I had to jump right into it. I'm kind of pressed for time. But therapy dogs infuriate me. They really upset me. Whenever I got to deal with how inconsiderate dog lovers are, it's very upsetting. An elementary school, huh? You want a dog just roaming around an elementary school. These people are out of their minds. And people, we have to stop accepting the behavior of psychopaths. These people behave like psychopaths, sociopaths, flat out. And we don't have to accept it, people. Anti-dog people, you have to speak up.
We are learning new information now about a dog attack in India. Back to the Breaking News Center and Jennifer Franco.
Yeah, John, so we're just getting some information now from Indio PD, but this is what I know. They're telling me that it happened about 3:30 this afternoon. That victim was a boy. We don't know the extent of his injuries, but they were serious enough that he was airlifted to Loma Linda University Medical Center for treatment. Right now, I don't know his condition. Still working to get more details. We do know the dog broke out of its kennel. It was a pit bull mix at a family member's home, so we're not sure exactly who the dog belonged to. But we do know that the dog was surrendered to Animal Services for humane euthanasia after this dog attack.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Didn't even explain what happened. What happened? Lord, you notice how these nutters try to skip over things, try to squeeze a report about a dog attack into 49 seconds. They don't want to get too deep into it, because all of these reports debunk their rhetoric.
Still working to get more details. We do know the dog broke out of its kennel.
Oh, it broke out the kennel. So deceptive. So deceptive. Let me go to my PowerPoint here real quick in regard to this same story. That mutt broke out of that cage and went straight for that boy's face. An 8-year-old boy. As always, unprovoked. And you nutters, your bright idea is to teach and train kids to view these things as their best friends. That's your bright idea. To try to numb their senses to danger, to the point where not only do they not view the dogs as dangerous, but they see a dog and want to go up to it and touch it. You idiots. Creatures that are doing this every day, tearing their face off, and there's nothing they can do to stop them. You have to be dumb, completely out of your mind, to participate in this culture. You don't teach kids to look favorably upon deadly creatures, dangerous, deadly creatures that also demonstrate how dangerous they are on a daily basis. Also, statistically prefers to attack kids. You big dummies. You don't bring these things into school. They want to let these things just run around school, just completely trying to numb their senses to danger. But this is the wackiest part of the human brain, the human psyche, is this dog nut. Nothing tops it.
I don't feel safe in my neighborhood. I can't go out and walk my dog. My children can't.
Life has changed dramatically for the McCormick family after their dog Cooper was brutally mauled last weekend by the pit bull across the street. The Schnauzer mix, now recovering after surgery, suffered multiple lacerations. The photos of her injuries too graphic to show you.
And had her in the clench of his jaws and was just mauling her and shaking her ferociously.
14-year-old Kate was walking Cooper on a leash at the time.
And the owners came out and they pulled the dog away from my dog, and we got maybe a few feet until the dog came back and picked her up again. I was very nervous because I didn't know if the dog was gonna come after me.
Another neighbor who took this picture had a close call with the pit bull in July when it broke free from a...
See, here's the thing. This mutt, the dog that attacked the 5-year-old, They euthanized that dog. They want to act like there was just something wrong with these particular dogs. No, it wasn't. Any pit bull break out of a cage, and there's kids around, somebody's getting attacked. Stop acting like there's just something wrong with these particular dogs and euthanize all of them. At the very least, bully breeds. Euthanize every bully breed on earth. There's literally just no justification for their presence.
Its runner. Tonight, the dog is quarantined. The dog's owner told us off camera that the pit bull has no history of aggression. And
oh, so it's never attacked anyone. So that's supposed to mean it's safe? How many stories? Literally hundreds of stories like this, where a dog attacked had never previously shown aggression. So a dog's history of non-aggression, irrelevant. Euthanize it. It's the only logical solution. I advocate euthanizing all bully breeds based on mathematics. It's not an opinion. It's based on the numbers.
He considers the attack an isolated incident. But Mary McCormick...
An isolated incident. They call all dog attacks isolated incidents. I mean, by definition, yeah, you can call, it can be 1 million of them per day. 1 million isolated incidents. They're trying to suggest this is something, oh, that really rarely happens. This never happens. Oh, it's so rare. What news are you keeping up with? That's part of the problem. They don't keep up with the news.
McCormick isn't so sure.
But I think more needs to be done in the state in terms of legislation to protect victims. I think one vicious attack on...
She said protect victims. You see how that mentality accepts the idea of being a victim? They don't think in terms of preventing people from being victims, because they view being attacked by a dog as something natural that we should all accept. No. No.
An animal, a person, anything is enough information that we should react.
The McCormicks and several other neighbors have requested a dangerous animal hearing. Town leaders told us tonight they will thoroughly investigate the case. McCormick, a dog lover herself, stops short of suggesting the pit bull be put down.
I don't have the answer, but I know that the general public has to be safe.
Okay, I don't respect that. You don't have enough nerve to say that even that particular pit bull should be put down. That's too much dog nuttery for me. Now, am I still on my PowerPoint? Yes, I am. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. That's why I don't like going back and forth. Stupid PowerPoint in this these videos. Y'all could just hear the audio, so I won't go back over it. Sorry about that. My apologies. My apologies. We should be on the, yes, we're here. So I got a few videos that I want to share. This is pretty crazy. Pitbull Victim Awareness has been uploading a lot of videos. A lot of them are recent attacks, recent situations. So make sure you keep up with this channel.
Owners are always protective of their pets, but one woman's small dog was unfortunately no match for a pit bull, and that attack was caught on camera.
That dog, unfortunately.
Now. Dog lovers, animal lovers. You call yourselves animal lovers. Why don't you hate pit bulls when you know full well pit bulls hate all other dogs, all other animals, period? No true animal lover loves an animal hater. There is no greater animal hater than pit bulls. So every so-called animal lover who loves pit bulls, you're a fake, phony fraud. You're fake. I can't buy that's disingenuous. That means you're just a brainless, airheaded, so-called animal. Oh, I just love all animals, all animals. Looking at the fact that pit bulls hate animals and all other dogs, that's too sophisticated of a train of thought for you. I can't respect that.
Survive, and as you can imagine, the owners are crushed, left with medical bills and a lot of heartache.
Winnie Dorch now has the story, and while we have covered the graphic portions of this video, this may be tough for pet lovers to watch.
It's like your child is gone.
A family dog viciously attacked and killed their son.
Here's this sick behavior comparing dogs to kids. Shut up, man. Get out of here with that weirdo sick behavior, man. Get out of here. A dog's life is worthless. Stop with this. These are worthless creatures. This planet itself would be more healthy without dogs. Our entire atmosphere would be cleaner without dogs. The soil, everything would be cleaner and safer. You can't say that about kids. Get out of here with that. How dare you compare a worthless dog to a human child? People are sick with that. And that's a big problem. They haven't been called out for this disrespectful, vile language of theirs.
First in Harvard Friday evening. Take a look. The woman has her little pup out for a walk. He stopped for a potty break. Within seconds, the neighbor's pit bull jumps out of the window and...
It jumped out of the window. These nutters, they love to leave their windows down far because they want to scare you. They love to do that. Let's understand. They can jump out of those windows. Now, nutters, what was this? Was this territory aggression? Huh? Was this dog defending its turf? Wasn't even on its turf. Yeah, let's check this out. Now, notice how the dogs came on to his territory. Oh, territory aggression. Yeah, they'll attack you if you walk on their territory. Shut up. It is the end of that stupid rhetoric. Dogs will travel great distances after leaving their territory to attack. So, territory aggression is out of the picture. There's no food aggression here. So, nutters, behaviorists, all you experts, unless a dog is sick, Ilana Reisner, I know you follow channel, nutter. Unless a dog is sick, there's always a reason. There's always something that provoked it. Oh, a dog will never attack just for no reason. There was a reason, you just don't know what it was. You don't know what it was, you didn't see it. But a dog will never just attack for no reason. Shut up! I hate when people try to insult me to my face with rhetoric like that, where they totally depend on you being dumb. That's all dogs do. That's what defines them as dogs. The fact that they attack just to attack. Again, they're the only so-called animals on earth that attack for sport. Brain dead, deranged mutants. Why are they attacking this man. For what? What did he do? He wasn't even moving. You can't even say that this was predatory. Do y'all understand this? Why I keep pointing this stuff out? None of the reasons that they give is ever seen in these videos. He wasn't even moving fast. He was sitting perfectly still. Are you kidding? Y'all want to argue these things are not a danger to the environment? And the fact that they prefer to attack kids, are you out of your mind? These things should have been euthanized and wiped clean from the face of the earth a long time ago. These mutants, especially these bully breeds, specifically these bully breeds, they've been begging to be exterminated. The need and the necessity to exterminate these things is boiling over. It's beyond 100%, well beyond. At this point, you deserve to be slapped for not have euthanized every one of them by now. And instead, you're removing bans? Get out of here. Stupid, brain dead nut. Man, do you know if I would have been in heaven, because I would have been armed and I would have had target practice. All you would have seen is dogs trembling and shaking, screaming, and losing all their life liquid. Now, these 4 pit bulls belong to this man in a flipping wheelchair. Once again, anybody can own a pit bull, and you can own as many as you want. Even if you ain't got no legs, confined to a wheelchair, you can have many pit bulls as you want. This is how people get hurt. This is how kids get mauled. This is reckless behavior. And this woman comes out with a broom. See how unprepared people are? Totally unprepared. Come out with a flipping broom. But the dogs are so cowardly, it worked. Anybody that stands up to these brainless mutants will have an advantage over them. Don't ever run from these things, people. Don't ever run from these things. Because truth be told, if he would have jumped off that scooter and chased them, these worthless, cowardly mutts would have ran. He up there, get over here, get up. Man, I would have went across that street and beat that dude up in his wheelchair and all. Look at the chaos that our laws cause. The animosity. Talk about a good reason to hate your neighbor. People will wonder why. You hate a guy in a wheelchair? All because this filthy dog culture. It's so infuriating, man. Get out of here. This surfaced yesterday. Nuns train a therapy dog to bring comfort and joy to an elementary school. This is why these nutters are obsessed with kids. I would never even mention kids on this channel if these nutters were not so obsessed with bringing dogs around them. It's so reckless. Nuns of all people. With as bad as the Bible speaks about dogs, are you out of your mind? That lets you know they don't follow that Bible. They don't care nothing about no Bible. And I bet you they don't even know. They're not even aware. The Bible talks about dogs as if the Bible hates dogs. I mean, it literally says nothing positive about dogs at all. And you have nuns involved in this behavior. So filthy. It is so filthy. It's time to stop living like savages. That might seem foreign to you, but try it. Try it. There was another crazy story that surfaced here. Let me see if I can find it. There's always some crazy story.
An 8-year-old boy in India was in the hospital after being attacked by a pit bull at his aunt's house. Officials say the 2-year-old dog broke out of his kennel and attacked the boy yesterday afternoon. The boy's grandmother was able to fend off the dog.
Ain't that something? Now, we heard the description of how this dog attacked. And we just watched a visual of this exact description of these things laying eyes on a target, darting and attacking. It's irrefutable that that's what these things do. It's irrefutable. But yet, when you ask these experts what we can do to reduce dog attacks on children, the only thing they want to talk about, I mean, and this is the only thing they want to talk about, is the child's behavior. When dogs demonstrate their behavior every single day, the only thing they want to talk about is your child misbehaving, approaching the dog, doing something, pulling its ear. Well, he had to do something. It wouldn't have just attacked him for no reason. People, we have to stop allowing these types of brain dead, filthy, ghetto, trashy people to have their way in the world. And that's just how these people are. There's no way around it.
A 2-year-old man dies after being attacked by a dog. Good evening. I'm Kim Chapman with you.
And I'm Josh Rowe. The dog belonged to the victim's family. First responders helpless to save the man. News Channel 9's Brianna Itzior spoke to the man's neighbors. Brianna, what did they tell you tonight?
Josh, Kim, neighbors were shocked to hear that such a horrible tragedy happened so close by, and the Polk County Sheriff warns people to turn your dog over to professionals if it's aggressive and they worry it could hurt somebody.
Turn it over to professionals if it's aggressive and can hurt somebody. You got to have a team of professionals. Beware of dog signs everywhere. And you want to project these things as the best friends of kids. You're obsessed with bringing these things around kids. Why? That's not even necessary. You as an adult, you can be a nutter all you want. Y'all can congregate and have these things around you. Why are you so fixated with children? That is such a sick and disgusting part of this dog culture. It's sick.
An unusual tragedy.
Shocked. Nothing unusual about somebody being killed by a dog. It's overwhelming how many stories there, how often it is. And we only get a tip of the iceberg.
That somebody died from a dog attack. Just so unheard of for me, especially here.
I mean, you can tell some of these people's, their brain has been warped, just fried and refried. The energy, there's no pep in their brains. What's the cause of this? Now, I know a big cause of a lot of people's brain deadness, and I sympathize with these people, are the people whose mother was maybe on alcohol or some type of drug when she was pregnant with them. You know, this drug era where you get opioids, you got all these different types of drugs. A lot of these women sadly become addicted, and they still use these substances throughout pregnancy. And these kids come out, they come out and there's nothing that they can do to correct it. I kind of sympathize with these people. But look, we're going to have to identify these types of people and not allow our laws to cater on their desires. That's ridiculous.
So close to home.
These Polk County residents couldn't believe a man was attacked and killed by a dog right in their neighborhood.
A family dog, a pet that attacked somebody.
No, it ain't no family dog, ain't no pet. It's a killer. I need to get that straight. Start by changing your language. Describe them based on their behavior. They're violent killers, child predators, mutants.
Yeah, shocking.
Polk County Sheriff Steve Ross confirmed Tuesday that a man named Rusty Burris was killed by his family's own dog on Swallows Drive early Sunday morning, something that is even unheard of at the sheriff's office.
We have the occasional dog bites, but this is a first for us as far as...
Man, stop. Well, why don't you get your head out of your butt and keep up with the news? For this to be coming from law enforcement officers, that is pathetic. It should be mandatory that you all keep up with all sorts of violent crimes, acts of violence, whether by a human or a dog. There's no excuse for you to be that ignorant.
Someone actually dying from a dog bite. This was a very brutal attack.
Ross says 32-year-old Burris was already dead when deputies arrived on scene, with dog bites on various parts of his body, but the most severe injuries were to both arms.
He was defending himself from the dog, and that's why he got so many bites on the arms.
He says he's not exactly sure what led up to the attack.
The dog had been aggressive before, and it was...
A dog that has been aggressive before, and they're saying they don't know what led up to the attack. That guy who was sitting on that scooter was attacked by 4 pit bulls. You know how insulting it is to sit there and say that we don't know what led up to the attack? When it's clear as day, the dog simply saw him and attacked him. And this is a part of the law. That's what their investigation is all about, is to find out what led up to the attack. Because it's etched into the laws to treat dogs like humans. The laws humanize these things. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do.
It was on a cable, but at some point during the night, it broke the cable and came after Mr. Burris.
For what? For what? Y'all claim that they always have to be provoked. What'd he do? No, these dog lovers, they accept and admit that dogs attack unprovoked for no reason. Every time, I've said this several times, every time they say, when they try to explain why a dog attack happened, every time they say, well, it broke out. That's an admission. Well, it escaped. That's an admission to unprovoked attack, because you're pointing towards the dog's freedom and roaming around as the cause. How many of y'all heard about this lady who let her dogs roam the neighborhood free, terrorizing people, attacking people? You got these sick people in the world like that who can own pit bulls, as many as they want. This is something that has to be regulated. The ownership of at least bully breeds should be regulated at the very least. And I'm saying, even if you're a bunch of dog nutters, these things are so dangerous, there should be some stipulations if you're going to own these things. You can only own so. That's not the case. Anybody can own as many as they want. It's very chaotic. Now, this surfaced yesterday as well.
Yeah, investigators say the two adults who were inside this house at the time of this dog attack, they left, they haven't come back, they haven't spoken with investigators, which police say has now turned this incident into a shooting investigation. Detectives were inside this Northeast Philadelphia house for about a half hour. We're told their orders were to execute a search warrant here at 2239 Brighton Street, where two dogs mauled a little girl out on the back deck. Police say an adult there at the time shot and killed both pit bulls.
Maybe could have restrained the dogs or got the dogs off, I don't know. But it's just a shame the baby was involved.
Investigators say shooting the dog was the right action to take in that moment. We're told the child is a year old. Police confirmed to NBC 10 two adults present at the time of the attack rushed her to the hospital where she was listed.
A year old. You're sitting up in there with two pit bulls around a 1-year-old. My goodness, these people, you truly have to be a deranged individual. And I know I'm talking about a lot of people's favorite athletes. Boy, hey, it is what it is. I hate to have to say it. I got family members, pit bull owners. I don't like saying it. It's uncomfortable. But I would be dishonest if I said anything else.
In critical condition. Nearly 6 hours later, no updates from police on who owned the dogs, shot the dogs, and why they have not returned to this house to talk with investigators.
So
neighbors out here say they often saw a man and a woman at the house.
So he probably had a record or something. Criminal record, maybe a warrant, I don't know. But he shot the dogs, left, hasn't come back.
They always kept to themselves. The only times they brought the dogs out was basically, they would walk them like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
3, 4 o'clock. And you hear about a lot of attacks very early in the morning. Do you really love your child if you allow two pit bulls into your home? Can you really say that you love your child? I don't even think you can argue that. You can't you can't argue that. At that point, no. It's impossible. The only thing you could argue is that you love the dogs more than you could say that you love your child. But based on the structure of your home, you have to say that you love the dogs more than the child. That's your behavior. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak for you. I don't want to hear your words. I would draw that conclusion and I would be correct without hearing a peep from you. And I'm saying this to all you pit bull owners, bully breed owners. I don't care whatever you own, a German shepherds, them other big mutts, all of you. You love those dogs more than you love your babies, your children. That's just how it is. You disagree? Try to explain why. How exactly is your lifestyle anything other than showing priority to the dogs? Because with pit bulls inside of a home with a child, only the child is in danger. It's only their life that's in danger. The dogs' lives are not in danger. So what are you doing? Sacrificing the child's safety for what? For the dogs. And the real sign of subhumanity is the fact that you nutters don't care. You could sit here and listen to me say this, and you don't care.
On leashes.
Some describing the dogs as aggressive.
Way back up, because I don't want that they will jump on the fence.
I was afraid to go down the driveway because I heard them carrying on and, aggressive. Like, I wouldn't go near it.
Man's best friend? You wouldn't go near it. What are you talking about? They evolved alongside us for tens of thousands of years. What are you talking about? Huh? Today, a deputy had to shoot a mutt. Cops shoot dogs every day. Dozens are shot every day. Why? Do you want to say now it is because the cops just like to shoot them? No. Cops are some of the biggest dog lovers on earth.
New this morning, in an attempt to arrest a domestic violence suspect, a Harris County Sheriff's deputy was attacked and bitten reportedly by the suspect's dog. This all happened around 10 last night on Queenston near West Little York in Northwest Harris County. While being attacked, the deputy pulled out a gun, shooting and killing the dog. The deputy was taken to the hospital after suffering minor injuries from the bites. Investigators did not confirm whether the suspect was eventually detained or not.
Do y'all know?
New this morning, in an attempt to arrest a domestic violence suspect,
the pro-dog culture in these police departments is sky high. It truly is sky high. You know what else is sky high? The rate at which they're ushering therapy dogs into different places. This is filtered for the past week. And it's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous. They're bringing these things into everywhere at a rapid rate. As dysfunctional and dangerous as these things are, their goal is to groom kids to be totally numb to the threat. Man, oh man. What is going on? What's going on?
We are highlighting interesting stories and outstanding programs from the schools playing in our Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week.
Our AJ Gers has a story of one new face on Mount Zion's campus that students just love to see.
That's one of those hairy dogs that grows a lot of hair around their anus. Nasty, drugged up mutt. Once again, what is this? Is this an elementary school? Always going, they're obsessed with bringing these things around kids. Unbelievable, man.
The new kid walking the hallways at Mount Zion High School is just 1.5 years old. Now you may say, how is that possible, AJ? Well, to that, I say, meet Patterson.
Clearly the mutt thinks the microphone is some type of food, checking to see if it's edible.
Patterson might not have much to say, but it is the service that he provides to students at Mount Zion High School that Jessica Hill said.
You know, the abuse is too much. It's too much. Kids not stupid. Kids see this stuff. Oh, this is my school. Oh, there's the therapy dog. And kids in different schools are seeing this. You know what? They're noticing that the children, they don't make it onto the news. The only time they make it onto the news is if a dog is present. They don't look at activities between and among children. They don't try to make articles or news reports about certain interactions or inventions or games or anything that the kids do. That's not newsworthy. The only time they might make it onto the news is when a dog is at their school.
Is a big benefit.
It has been amazing. These kids are just thriving.
And then they want to claim that the kids are so obsessed with these. After they forced the dogs onto the kids, they want to then claim that the kids are crazy about it. Talking about children. Even if they are not crazy about dogs, they're going to pretend to be, because they know that you, the adult, want them to be crazy about the dog. Suddenly, the kids are special only because they like the dog. These people's culture of abuse, neglect, projecting dogs as superior right in the children's face, that is being exposed. That's being exposed, and it won't be able to be ignored. Play dumb if you want. Here, let me shrink this screen here. Let's continue. This thing ain't even halfway over yet.
Loving getting to interact with him every day, putting a smile on their faces. It's wonderful.
Kids don't care nothing about no dog. Kids are always having fun, especially when there's a whole bunch of other kids. I never had a dog in my school, but when I went to school, it felt like Disneyland. Get out of here, nutters. Like no mutt brings them happiness. The only thing that brought me happiness in school was the girls and playing sports with the guys. Get out of here. Ain't nobody thinking about no dog.
To see.
Hill says Patterson was certified as a therapy dog over the summer. She says that trained dogs in schools are proven to decrease stress and anxiety.
Oh my God, here we go with this. Stress and anxiety. Goofy, nutter, behaviorist vets. Kids don't experience no stress or no anxiety. The only time they might experience stress and anxiety is when you put a flipping dog in their face and expect them to pretend like they're not afraid. And this is one of those nasty, hairy mutants that are certain to have excrement, traces of excrement all across their body, especially around their rear end. This is so disgusting and unsanitary and hazardous. Hazardous. And that is such a fake, exaggerated study. Reduce no stress and anxiety for no strange kids. I guarantee you, the stress and anxiety levels of the kids were higher after the dog was brought into the school. I guarantee you, their stress and anxiety levels was lower before it came into the school.
She says that trained dogs in schools are proven to decrease stress and anxiety and boost students' moods.
This is a good day. Get to pet this dog. I get to go home and see my cat.
And this is my therapy for the day.
I've got some kids that are...
God, you got to be... oh, how cringe. How cringe. Just training kids to be a cringy, airheaded nutter. Obsessed with rubbing these nasty things. This thing's hair is partially wet all around its mouth. One of them nasty, always got spit all over its mouth. This is disgusting. Try to project this as heaven. Get out of here.
Get to pet this dog. I get to go home and see my cat.
And this is my therapy for the day.
I've got some kids that are...
I get to pet this dog. You get to have a stinking hand. They have a nasty bacteria, viral infected fingers under your fingernails, all nasty and full of filth. Yeah, lucky you, huh?
They're down on their hands and knees and he's kissing them in their face. I've got some kids that
Ugh, and they're promoting that. You heard that right. They're promoting the idea of these nasty mutants licking kids in their face. Oh my, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Nutters. Boy, these random nuttery videos, they're going to get worse with time. more and more extreme. They are already. Wow.
Just a quick pet as they're heading to class. And we've got some students.
See how they encourage this for kids who are not particular about dogs, who don't really like them. They're being encouraged to like them. Hey, be part of the in crowd. This is what we're doing. The kids who pet and rub on the dogs, those kids get to be on the news. So you're not with the in crowd. You're not important. You're not special. Special people get on TV because they want to rub the dog. And again, remove the dog from the picture. These people don't have no motivation to put these kids that you see on the screen now on the news. They only feel motivated to put kids on the news when there's a dog right next to the kids. Another way of teaching them that the dog is more important. It's just another form of neglect. It's another version of neglect. Another version of abuse. Simple as that. It's a very sick, demonic culture. What an uncultured people. This is a culture of animalistic culture. This is no culture. This is when you're just a savage, vile, unevolved, primitive, half beast yourself.
That would prefer to not interact, and that's fine too. He is ready to jump in the car and get here every morning.
Dog think about nothing but food. Licking everything and everybody, looking for food. And if it doesn't have food, it's licking people's skin because it's salty. It's food-obsessed mutants.
Here every morning.
And Hill says she hopes that social workers in other schools in the district will take note of the benefits Patterson has at their school.
Benefits. They're talking about reducing stress and anxiety in kids. And people fall for this. Am I the only one that doesn't like to be duped? Have some scam run on me? That's all this is. Kids don't experience stress and anxiety. They don't. If there's any point in your life where you did not have stress and anxiety, it's when you were a child. This is just an agenda to groom the next generation into dog nutters. Wake up, man. This is the new wave of being awake to this nutter culture. This is what's going to catch on. It's hip to not be duped, to not be an airheaded nutter. We're going to make this look cool and make you look corny and cringe. Because really, that you already do. You just been brainwashed to look at that corniness and that cringiness as love. Get out of here.
And bring other dogs in to help students de-stress all across Central.
De-stress. Why don't you prove to me that they are stressed? How about that? Why don't you establish that first? Nutters. They've never tried to do that. You notice how they never share reports about how kids deal with so much stress. Kids, you let them tell it. Kids are the most stressed people in the country. Now, I've done videos where I've talked about the most stressed people in the country. It ain't kids. They don't even include kids in these studies because they know they ain't not dealing with no stress. What a scam. What a scam. Why don't you people at least take pride in being intelligent and not falling for stuff like this? Kids are not stressed. Don't bring no dog into that school. What's wrong with you people out here, man? You can still be a dog lover and say, no, we don't want dogs in the school. It's unsanitary. No, you can't be a dog lover and say that. I take that back. Well, I can't even struggle to give these people credit.
Illinois.
I give you credit when you get rid of that mutt. How about that? I don't even want to hear from you until you got rid of it. I know some of you get triggered. Not only do you hear me talking, you see all the comments in the chat room. I know you get triggered. Nutters, why don't you ever say nothing? Because you can't say nothing.
In the studio, I'm AJ Gersh. Back to you.
I want Patterson here at the station, right? De-stress.
I want Patterson here at the station, right? De-stress. Shut up. That is so nasty and low-key sexual. And that's another thing that I believe this agenda is about. Promoting this lifestyle of intimacy with dogs. De-stress. What a scam. And it is such a slap in the face that they don't offer any so-called studies to prove that kids are stressed. They just walk in the door, say your kids are stressed. Here's the dog. Studies have shown that they reduce stress, and walk out. And you dummies, you just sit there and accept it. Man. Horrible, horrible, horrible. You want to see the kind of filth that's right here on YouTube? What are y'all looking at? Let me see what y'all looking at. What are y'all looking at here? Okay, I want to show y'all something. Check this out. Can y'all see that? This was posted recently. Very recently. Look at what it says. Let me mute it. You see the title? Dog attacks kid and asks him to stop. And the kid asks the dog to stop politely. Now, why do you think they're showing this a video like this? Notice how they wrote 127-pound dog versus 78-pound 8-year-old. Why do you think they did that? Haven't I been saying for a long time that they get off on the thought of a dog mauling a child? That it excites them? The more danger a child is in, the more excited they get. Isn't videos like this makes that hard to deny? Not only in the title talking about dog, as if they're just getting off on the thought, dog attacks kid. Oh, the dog is heavier than the kid. 127. Why are they excited about that? That the dog actually weighs more than the child. Why would that excite them at all in any way, shape, form, or fashion? The only thing I can conclude is that it's a sick fetish that they're addicted to. Addicted to seeing children in grave danger. Child is in grave danger. Literally nothing is in place to prevent that thing from literally attacking the child. And they wrote dog attacks kid primarily because they know the dog could attack the child anytime it wants. And they're flaunting the risk, the danger. All the while, I'm over here sharing reports about 8-year-old boys being attacked by these things. In my beginning of this stream, I talked about an 8-year-old boy who was attacked unprovoked as always. Dog broke out the cage and darted for the boy's face. And while that's happening, they're making videos like this. Like, ha ha, it could happen again. Isn't that interesting? Bunch of sickos. Shout out to everybody who chimed in and joined me on this stream. My apologies if I missed anyone. I missed someone in the super chat, but I believe it was Morpheus Christos because he always donates $6.66. Big shout out to whoever that was, whether or not it was Morpheus Christos. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to everybody. Sibby Red, Annabelle. Hope y'all having a productive, clean, dog-free week. What is today? Is this hump day? You're having a wonderful hump day out here. Staying far away from mutants and their owners, right? Serena. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I wonder how it's chaos. It's going to require chaos, but I could be wrong. It could be gradually, just like we came on the scene. The anti-dog movement on the social media, like I said, it started around the early 2000s. Those are the earliest articles that you saw out here. Is when people started to really connect with each other and talk about these things. And this happened with a lot of different things where people thought they had a personal or private interest. In came social media and they discovered there were thousands of people just like them, and they, had really, some of them actually would start businesses, different organizations, if nothing else, social groups. And people like us, we can create petitions, sign petitions, put a lot of pressure on different companies. You generate power. In some way, you generate power when you congregate. Airy Bear, the new faces. Big shout out to all the new subscribers. War on Dogs in the building. Big shout out to you. Ashar in the building. Yeah. Abby said people use stress as an excuse so much now. Yeah, and it's pathetic at this point. We should always demand, hey, prove that there is stress. Don't just bring me some solution to stress, especially when that solution is deadly and disgusting. You better have a real strong study about how I'm experiencing stress right now. And the fact that people don't hold it up to scrutiny just show how brain dead the average person is. Just asleep at the wheel, man. It's crazy. Right? Satan, ban all dogs in the building. Dion, big shout out to everybody. Sunny Day, Moochie in the building. Big shout out to everybody. Any and everybody I may have missed. And I hope to see you all on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.